departments represented by various sectors. Jambo. Right, as mentioned, my name is David Ikungu, currently serving as Director of Meteorological Services in Kenya. The forecast for the March, April, May 2024. The period is the major rainfall season, which we refer to as the long rains, over most parts of Kenya and much of the equatorial Eastern Africa. The highest seasonal rainfall amounts, that is an observation of greater than 300 millimeters, are normally experienced over the Lake Victoria Basin, the highlands west of the Rift Valley, the central and the south Rift Valley, the highlands east of the Rift Valley, including Nairobi County, and the coastal strip. I think that is what we are showing in that map. And when we have this kind of observation, this is what we call normal. For this year, March, April, May 2024, the forecast indicates that above average rainfall is expected over the Lake Victoria Basin, the highlands west of the Rift Valley, central, northern, and south Rift Valley, highlands east of the Rift Valley, again including Nairobi County, northeastern, southeastern lowlands, and the northwestern regions. Generally, near average rainfall with a tendency to above average rainfall is expected over the coastal region and parts of the southeastern lowlands. Occasional storms are also likely to be observed or experienced during the season. During the season, it is likely that several areas will have a generally fair to good distribution of rainfall in both time and space, except over the northeast and northwestern regions, where the distribution is expected to be poor to fair. It is important to us because we also work with users. It is not just the amount of rainfall that comes, but in what manner. If it is all concentrated within 2 days, is not as useful as when you have just a little spread over 3 weeks. That is what we are talking about, and that is why we are keen to explain the distribution according to the forecast. The season is expected to experience an early to normal onset. Onset is the start, with occasional dry spells. Occasional storms are likely to be experienced in some parts of the country. Actually, when we go to the main breakdown of the forecast, we'll see a bit of this, because we have some parts of the country that are already experiencing rainfall, and in some of those places, we will have a continuation of that, while others will experience a break. The peak of the rains is expected to be in April for most regions, except over the coastal strip, where the peak is expected in May. The temperature forecast indicates warmer than average temperatures that are expected over the whole country, with increased probabilities over the coastal and northern parts of the country. Is that figure 3? That is what we are explaining there as far as temperatures are concerned. This has been the trend. 2023 went on record as the warmest year. When we started this year, again January was picked up as the warmest on record. This is a trend that is expected to continue. That is what we are saying in summary form. Let me take you through the specific areas in what you would call the breakdown of the rainfall activities in the country. The region we refer to as the highlands west of the Lake Victoria Basin, Central and South Rift Valley, where we have the counties of Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay, Migori, Kisii, Nyamira, Baringo, Uasin Gishu, West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet, Nandi, Kericho, Bungoma, Kakamega, Busia, Trans Nzoia, Vihiga, Laikipia West, Nakuru, and Narok, that zone. In these counties that I have mentioned, rainfall is expected to continue throughout the season. When we say to continue, it means we are already experiencing some of it. The expected rainfall is likely to be above the long-term average amounts for the season, and that is what we are calling enhanced rainfall. The distribution of the rainfall is likely to be good in both time and space. I think I have explained distribution earlier on. There is a zone that we refer to as the northwestern and another one northeastern. But starting with the northwestern counties, where we find the counties of Turkana and Samburu, these counties are likely to experience occasional rainfall during the season. The expected rainfall amount is likely to be above the long-term average for the season, and that is what we mean by enhanced rainfall. The distribution of the rainfall is likely to be poor to fair in both time and space. Going eastwards, where we find the highlands east of the Rift Valley, including Nairobi County. And we have the counties of Nyandarua, Nyeri, Kirinyaga, Murang'a, Kiambu, Embu, Meru, Tharaka-Nithi. Nairobi is mentioned again here, and the eastern parts of Laikipia. You note that earlier on I had mentioned Laikipia West. So the eastern parts of Laikipia are zoned together with the highlands east of the Rift Valley. These counties are likely to experience rainfall amounts that are above the season's long-term average. The distribution is likely to be fair, and in terms of time and space, we are likely to have good amounts, what you would call useful. Let's go to the southeastern lowlands, where we find Tui, Makueni, Machakos, Diallo, and Taita Taveta. We expect above the long-term average for the season in this zone. However, Taita Taveta and the southern parts of Kitui and Makueni counties are likely to experience near average and with a tendency to above average rainfall. The distribution of the rainfall in this zone is likely to be fair, and in some places to be good in both spread in terms of space and also the time that it takes. Northeastern counties, where we find Mandera, Marsabit, Wajir, Garissa, Seasonl, and parts of Tana River. Those are the northern parts of Tana River County. These areas are expected to experience the seasonal rainfall that is likely to be above the long-term average for the season. And the distribution is however, expected to be poor maybe fair in some places. That's quite a vast zone. It is not going to be all uniform in both time and space. Finally, as far as the breakdown of the regions is concerned, we go to the coastal street, Glorified, Mombasa, some parts of Tana River, Kilifi, Lamu, and Kwale counties. Rainfall amounts are likely to be near to above long-term average amounts for the season. The distribution of the rainfall is likely to be fair to good in both time and space. Let me go to another aspect of the forecast, and that is the distribution, as well as the onset dates and the expected cessation. The predicted onsets, cessations, and distribution of rainfall were derived from global climate models, where we did a number of runs, as well as statistical analysis of past years, which showed similar characteristics to the current year, and as indicated, also we'll get the chart, you'll find it in table 1. The analog year, we use the term analog to indicate similar years, where we find patterns, distribution, everything were very, very close to the current year for which we are making forecasts. So the analog years were 1998, 2010, and 2016. The season is expected to have an early to normal onset, especially over the western half of the country. For the onset, the certainty is quite reliable. For the cessation, you need to follow it very, very closely with the other forecasts that will be issuing from time to time. But you need to be very, very keen about the onset so that you are not late as far as the activity that you engage in when you get this kind of forecast or this kind of amounts of water, so that you are not delayed. Like I've said, we have both onset dates and the cessation. While I expect you to continue paying attention, what we issue there may be variation as far as the cessation times are concerned, and we'll provide this in the upcoming and short-term forecasts. The region that I described as islands west of the Rift Valley, Lake Victoria Basin, Central and South Rift Valley, I need not read the counties again, but the onset, we are saying this is the region where we are expecting that the rainfall will continue from February going forward. The cessation is suspected around June. So we are saying the season is likely to continue into June. The distribution is expected to be good. Islands east of the Rift Valley, including Nairobi, we expect that the rainfall will continue from February, followed by some dry spell till the 3rd to 4th week of March. And the cessation is expected to be the last part of May, going into the first week of June. We expect a fair to good distribution. Southeastern lowlands, we expect rainfall to continue from February, and this will be again followed by some dry spell till the 3rd to 4th week of March. The cessation is expected to be around the 3rd week of May. Fair to good distribution expected in that zone of the southeastern lowlands. The northern coast region, where we find long, Malindi, coastal parts of Tana River and Kilifi. Rainfall is expected from the 4th week of March to the 1st week of April. Those are the onset dates, but the season is expected to go into the month of June with a fair to good distribution. The South Coast region, where we find Mombasa and Kwale counties, the rainfall is expected from the onset dates expected from the 3rd to 4th weeks of March, ceasing within the month of June, with a good fair distribution, not much variation from the northern coast. The northwest, where we found Turkana and Samburu, the onset is expected from the 4th week of March to the 1st week of April, and the cessation is in the 3rd week of May. Poor to fair distribution in that zone. The northeastern parts, where we had quite a bit of activity in the short rains, Wajir, Isiolo, Garissa, Mandera, and Marsabit. The onset is expected from the 4th week of March to the 1st week of April, and the cessation is expected in the 2nd to 3rd week of May, with a poor to fair distribution. We've listened to some of the users of the information sector voice, and I'm glad they were quite clear. I'm glad they were present. The new way of doing things, we expect that we'll continue this kind of collaboration so that when things are not clear, we seek clarification so that those who look to us, hear us to lead the sector's new people, those who look to us for information, for guidance, get the right information. The MAM season, MAM is March, April, May, comes with its own challenges. This is the season where sometimes you may have the effect of cyclones, something that doesn't feature much during the short rains. So it therefore forces us to look at very, very many things. A lot of drivers that determine the season. All the same, it's still forecast, and the forecast is normally useful. Having said that, we encourage you to use this outlook together with the 24-hour, 5-day, 7-day, and even monthly, including the special releases that we make as necessary. Let's use all of those tools together so that we are well guided in whatever activities that we engage